June 18th, 2023. This was the day when OceanGate launched a commercial mission with its submersible Titan to the Titanic shipwreck. But just 90 minutes later, the mission turned into a horrifying tragedy. The submersible's carbon fiber hull could not withstand the immense deep ocean pressure and the entire vessel imploded. Within the blink of an eye, all 5 people on board lost their lives. 2 years later, the US Coast Guard has released a 335-page report stating that this was an accident that could have been easily avoided. According to the report, OceanGate's biggest crime was that it did not follow modern engineering protocols. The manuals were incomplete, and the testing methods for the submersible were unsafe. Even after earlier incidents with the Titan, the company continued to use it without conducting proper hull inspections. This was not a small technical mistake. It was deliberate negligence. Jason Neubauer, the chairman of the Coast Guard's investigation board, said that the 5 lives lost could have been saved. The Titan's hull was made of carbon fiber, a material never before used in a deep-sea vessel. The problem with carbon fiber is that under pressure, its layers begin to separate, a process known as delamination. Experts had already warned that this material was unreliable for the deep sea, but OceanGate ignored these warnings. In 2021 and 2022, cracking sounds were even recorded inside the hull during missions, yet no action was taken. Rob McCallum, a former consultant for OceanGate, stated that it was mathematically certain the vessel would fail one day. The only question was when. OceanGate's CEO, Stockton Rush, who died in the accident, was not only the pilot but also the lead engineer and safety officer. It was a mixture of human failure and system failure. When power is concentrated in one person and there are no checks and balances, the result is something like the Titan disaster. The report even said that if Rush had survived, criminal charges would likely have been recommended against him. Rush's approach was that certification only hinders innovation, and so he deliberately avoided putting the sub through any certification process. Inside the company, raising safety concerns was forbidden. Employees who pointed out risks were either ignored or fired. In 2018, the director of operations was fired simply for presenting a safety report about the sub to Rush. Rush told him that his conservative approach went against his vision. The message was clear: if you talked about safety, you lost your job. Despite being a high-tech vessel, the Titan was operated with a modified PlayStation controller, and the pilot's manuals were incomplete. Some manuals even had sections marked "to be determined," meaning nothing had been finalized yet. The operation manuals for deep-sea missions were only 4 pages long. The joke. But that joke cost 5 people their lives. Furthermore, communication between the submersible and the surface ship was done through text messages with delays. In an industry where real-time voice communication is the standard, OceanGate skipped it just to save money. The investigation also revealed that the company was under severe financial crisis. In 2023, employees were told to temporarily give up their salaries, with a promise to be paid later. The report disclosed that Stockton Rush was funding the company from his personal finances. As staff numbers shrank, inexperienced engineers were given responsibility for the complex design of the submersible. A former director described the Titan project as something that looked like a high school science project, and the team was of that same level. The Titan tragedy was not just a technical failure. It was a failure of leadership, systems, and above all, human stubbornness. Stockton Rush once said that safety is a waste of time. At some point, you just have to take risks. But this time, the risk didn't lead to adventure or thrill. It turned into a horrifying journey of death. And the report concludes with a grim warning. If the world does not learn from this tragedy, then the next Titan, in some other form, under some other Stockton Rush, will one day bring disaster again.